Hi, I'm Fred McClymans, a member of the analyst team at Futurum Research. On behalf of my colleagues at Futurum and our partners at More Insights and Strategy, we'd like to welcome you to this session of the 6.5 Summit. In this fireside chat, my colleague Daniel Newman has an opportunity to sit down with Rebecca Akiriakisol, Lenovo's Executive Director of Services, Product Development, and Marketing. They're going to be talking about the future of devices that are shaping the modern workforce, which, as we know, will likely shape the employee experience as well. I hope you enjoy.
Rebecca, welcome to the 6.5 Summit. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I appreciate you giving me the chance to be here today.
Yeah, we're really excited to have you. I watched through your introduction, and I give Fred on our team a lot of credit. You had the most unique last name out of anybody in the event. So nobody should take that personally. It's just yours is extremely unique. And for everyone out there, we did a little trivia, Rebecca and I offline, and she informed me that most people can never guess where it came from. So we're not gonna play that game right now, but it was a lot of fun to talk to you offline. But today on the 6.5 Summit, I want to talk to you about something that's going on in the marketplace that's really interesting, and that's this shift towards as a service and moving closer to the edge and really moving to the devices that everyone in the workforce is now using, and seeing companies like yours at Lenovo delivering device as a service. Interesting trend. How did it sort of come to pass? When did you get involved in this business?
Well, device as a service has been, talked about for many years, but it's recently really picking up steam. And I think, there's several factors that are driving that. There's been, increased pressure on, IT organizations with cost, et cetera. And the things that are happening today with COVID, it's really accelerating the trend, right? So we've been seeing a transition. Companies were becoming more interested in the as a service, having things delivered as a monthly subscription versus paying for everything up front. But now with the pressures that everyone's facing with COVID and the change with the dispersed workforces, et cetera, we're seeing even more interest in as a service and device as a service. I've been at Lenovo for a little over 2.5 years, and from the point that I came in the door, it was something that we were talking about and really towing into. But now it's picking up big steam in the marketplace, and increasingly we're closing and working with customers on device as a service deals.
Yeah, I think that's great. And would you mind, for everyone out there, just take a quick step back? How do you sort of educate and inform everybody about what is device as a service and how it works?
Sure. So device as a service is an opportunity for us to solve customer needs and problems by combining hardware, software, and services into a solution for the customer. We take that and put it into a single invoice and then deliver it on a monthly subscription. It provides our customers with some flexibility in their fleet management, so they can flex up and flex down as far as the number of devices in their fleet. It's really a way for us to deliver real value to our customers. It's a cost-effective way of meeting their IT needs.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting growing thing. I've talked about everything as a service. I actually was talking about that trend long before it actually even became a bigger and growing and broader trend. And now we're starting to see the AAS as kind of everything. We're putting in front of everything now. Customer experience as a service, data as a service. So pretty soon it's going to be like Monster beverages as a service. Wait, I can't say that.
Yes.
But no sponsorship. But anyways, with device as a service, it's not necessarily like a one size fits all, like most as a service. Talk a little bit about sort of what are the different services that are being offered and sort of how you guys are going about it.
Sure. So device as a service, it truly is it's a custom design for our customers. I mean, we have some proposed packages and ways that we can deliver device as a service, but it's really about finding out what the customer needs. And we can include anything from your more close to the box services, warranty services, configuration and deployment, or it can be, a more full-blown, complete modern IT solution, or end-to-end lifecycle management solution for them, where we're doing everything from provisioning to endpoint management and security, right? And it could be anything in between. The great thing about device as a service is it does have that flexibility. We really can build what's going to best meet the customer needs. And it also gives us the flexibility that we can deliver those services ourselves, or we can also partner with channel partners that may be active with those customers and, have them deliver some of the more, further from the box type pieces of the service, and work jointly with them as well. So it really is a custom solution, and it's built to deliver whatever the customer needs.
Are there some services, Rebecca, that you're finding to be more commonly asked for from companies? Could you just share a little bit about that? And
Yeah,
I'm going to ask you about anything that I'd love to know, like what's in a really unique example, if anything comes to mind as well, of sort of how people are customizing. But start with the simple ones, and we'll come back.
Sure. Well, and again, like I said, it can be anything out there. I mean, one of the more, or some of the more common things that we are looked at to provide our Premier Support, which is our higher end support service offering. That's pretty much almost always included in these deals. It really just provides a lot of value and cost savings for customers to have that. We also get asked to do a lot of configuration services, so factory loads of images, things like that. We often get asked security because that's a big piece of it. So wrapping in some of the security elements. So those are some of the more common things that we do get involved in. It is getting more and more where we're looking at how to provide security and endpoint management and provisioning where the end users are getting the systems directly. So that's another impact that COVID has had, where we really have to think about, this may not be going through an IT person first, right? We'll be shipping straight to the end user. And so that's been a shift. So we're seeing more, how can we provide security to make sure that, everything's okay when it gets there, that nothing's been tampered with. We have some offerings around that. As well as, making sure that it is self-deployable, right? So the provisioning pieces of it. So those are the things that are really starting to pick up steam, especially in today's environment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I figure, you'll definitely run across those customizing opportunities. And I would bet that that's where the channel partners become so important, is being able to, work closely to identify between Lenovo and the enterprise, for instance, to say, hey, here's some very specific goals and objectives of your device as a service deployment. And I've been talking a lot about this lately, Rebecca, but with COVID-19, the pandemic, companies largely moving towards work from home, the criticality of the device has to see an exponential momentum and growth during this period. Essentially, millions and millions of knowledge workers that are 100% dependent now. No office, limited connectivity. This device has to do everything. It has to do it well. It has to be dependable, reliable, connected. And when it doesn't work, it needs to have a great plan to manage. I'm guessing
Yes.
that's probably driven a ton of interest your way.
Absolutely. And that's where, like I said, the criticality, making sure that end users can get up and running with a new system and then get up and running if there's an issue, which is, where I was talking about our Premier Support. Those things have become even more critical and important as the shift has been to having people working at home. And we've seen customers, there's been, where we were talking to them about DaaS deals and even some other service offerings that we have. And when COVID hit, it was sort of like everybody went through certain phases. It was the, oh no, what do I do now? Right. That kind of short term, how do I get everybody up and running? How do I get everybody boxes that needs boxes? How do I make sure that they're able to function? It was just like the bare bones, needs and worries that the IT departments were going through. And then as they kind of came out of that, then it was, how do we make this work more efficiently, right? And how do we make sure everybody's protected and the security, and we can get people up and running faster. And so they started kind of turning their attention to sort of smoothing out their processes and refining what they had sort of put in place. And it's not just about COVID, because, as we've seen with many surveys and information that you're seeing, a lot of companies are taking this as, this will be a longer term shift, right? It's not just going to be towards during COVID. Obviously, some workers are going to go back into a more traditional environment, but companies are really preparing that this is going to be more of a long-term reality. So that's where they're now kind of coming in, and they're wanting to talk about, okay, we sort of put the Band-Aids on, but now how do we put everything in place so that, we're able to function most effectively and most securely and most cost effectively, which, DaaS is a great tool for making that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And you make a great point. This is not a blip. Companies have been able to use this as an opportunity to recognize obvious transformational pivots that can be made. Workforce distribution, technology leadership that can optimize a business, software investments. So I see so many different ways that this can help. And of course, with companies in many industries seeing financial challenges arise based on, delayed income, slowed revenues, extended costs to continue to operate, the as a service modality has become incredibly popular. We saw it with public cloud. We've seen it now in hybrid in infrastructure cloud. We're seeing it with database. You mentioned it with security, although security as a service lands as another SaaS. So we're going to have to call it like SecAS or something, which is just, we're going to have to do better because that's not going to sound good. But sorry, part of everything. You got to smile a little bit. But financially, this is a big deal and a big opportunity. Talk a little bit about that part and how much influence the economics have had in terms of gaining adoption and getting clients behind the DaaS or DaaS or device as a service business.
Yeah, absolutely. The financials, I mean, if every company is always a key driver, but never any more than today, right? As you said, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, companies are under extreme circumstances and extreme cost pressures, and device as a service is a great tool for them because it does a few things. It frees up cash flow, right? They don't have to have that huge outflow of cash up front. It matches the costs with the revenue, right? So you're paying on a monthly fee. So as you're kind of consuming, and so as you've got revenue coming in, again, you don't have that big blip of outflow of cost, right? It reduces overall cost and helps them free up resources by the services that we can deliver for them. So, we can do the everyday things for them so that they can, focus more on what they need to do to transform themselves and move towards the future. And it also, it's a predictable cost, right? So, they in today's environment with all the things that we have coming at us, and, we all joke about 2020, what's coming next, right? But this gives them that, cost predictability that they know every month what their costs are going to be, and they don't have to worry about having, again, a big blip of cost hitting them, out of the blue or in the future, even if they know it's coming, right? It's just a predictable way to deliver value, and have their end users be productive without having to worry about, again, what's going to come in the future. So it really is, everything's about the financial pieces of it, and device as a service is a great tool for customers.
Absolutely. Getting newer devices, the right level of manageability, support, capabilities, all those things are going to continue to become more and more important. Rebecca, thank you so much for spending a little time here with me and everyone here at the 6.5 Summit.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I truly enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So everyone out there that's tuned in, thanks for attending this session. Go back out into the main hall. Check out all the sessions. We're super excited that you're here. Stay with us. For now, though, we got to go. Bye-bye.